one ugly bug KIA.
Alrighty, 2 levels away. That's not a typo. I've completed all the weapons to diamond. There's a couple of like things I could still go for. I'm not sure what the deal is with launches special. I don't know what happened there. It says that I still haven't achieved it, but maybe it's something else. I don't know. Anyway, I'm all good with it. There's all these zombies together. There's all the zombies together. I will shoot at it. Don't know if I can get it. I didn't do a Gravitron. That's what I was kind of hoping to get. Like a Gravitron. But, I'm not sure I did. That's the one thing I didn't check out. Is how many more... not Gravitrons, but how many more... I need to get like 5 rapid kills with ammo upgrade, ammo mods. So it doesn't matter what mod I use, just as long as there's 5 kills like from it triggering or however it puts it. So that's coming in. What else have I got? So I got 2 guns left. Actually 3 guns because I got the new sniper rifle. Came out in the Archie, so I got two sniper rifles from the original release. So yeah, it's getting there. Gonna get Prestige Master. Of course, I got the Prestige Master. It's that's not the end of it. This gun's got 3 levels left, I believe, 2 or 3. Quite soon enough. I'm 50% through good old fucking, what do you call it? 50% of the way through this level. So yeah, I'm hoping to get a couple of things. 5 insta-kill energy mines, and then that will finish Hardened, I think it is. So I've done career challenge, all the career challenges I've done, and this is all that's left of hard. And then it's just finishing off all of the fucking prestige. Dark Ops I'm not going to be able to do half of those. They're just beyond my skill level. I'm always willing to admit. Some of them are just fucking insane. Just, you know, maybe if I was like in a real zone, like just fucking absolute, just crazy, like a couple of them I probably could do, thinking about it. There we go, another Gravitron. Problem is that I've got so two levels. I'm pretty sure this ends at 46. So yes, I've got a the irony. Okay, come on. Do I want to use a gobble gun? Do I want to use a gobble gun? Do 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 do.
Insta-kill.
Oh, there he is, Chief Douche. Wait, did it? No! Oh god, it passed through the... Ah, that's bullshit! That's fucking bullshit! Because it was death, it's the bullet... Oh, god damn it! Fucking die already. I don't know if you saw what just happened. I shot through and hit the leg of the fucking mangler that I was about to drop a mine on. Because I just got my mine. There's your mine came back there. Wait, let's go see the gobble guns. I've got like so many fucking Killjoy gobble guns. It's not funny, so... Come on, Killjoy. Come on. Stock options, pack off.
Right into that one.
Like, I'm so close. 5 left. See, if I do, pardon me, if I do standard and go to high rounds, you get like 2 or 3. I mean, at one stage, I think it's because one of the quests brings one in, but you can get like 4 of them, like the fucking Manglers. But it's just getting to those high rounds, staying alive. There's a lot that comes into it. I know this is the slow and steady and boring way, but you know, we're gonna go classic Turtle. Slow and steady wins the race. But every opportunity lost does piss me the fuck off. I was watching a video just a minute ago about Brian. Well, I'm not sure if it's Brian or Brion. It's Brion. J, and then just James, like the name James. And you might be sitting there going like, who? He was the guy who, so he was in, I'm going to say a couple of smaller roles. They were big roles, but roles you might not remember him from. I don't remember the character name, but he was in, here he say for a brain to kick back in. He was in Tango and Cash. He was in, is it 48 Hours? Yeah, 48 Hours. He was in, the one that's you're gonna know, I'll say in a sec. So he was in those as a villain. I don't know if he was the villain, but he was a villainous character either way. And then he'd been in a lot of movies before those. That was where he sort of got his break. And then he played a lot of villain characters. But where he got his break though was in, my brain is not kicking in. Hold on. Blade Runner. So he was in Blade Runner. He was the replicant, not the main replicant. That was oh god, that actor's dead. Both of the replicant. Well, there's actually 4 replicants. He played the other replicant, the one that grabs Harrison Ford and says, "Wake up, you're gonna die," or something like that. But the role that most people know him for is he was the commander dude in Fifth Element. He was like the main. He's the one that gets he goes to the apartment and he's like he gets Lilu punches him in the gut and steals the control card to get out, all that sort of stuff. Like he's that guy. That I guess he's a commanding officer sort of thing. The one who gets frozen in the fridge. Commander, we can't fit in here. I want to help you, but we can't fit. Sure you can. Push them in. That's a great movie. It's funny how when something becomes cult, I get that people don't want to, rock the boat, so to speak. But there was someone I was speaking to the other day who didn't like Fifth Element. But they saw it many years ago. And so I said, maybe you should watch it again. You don't have to. I'm not going to force you, obviously. But we ended up watching it because they hadn't seen it in a long time. It actually turned out they hadn't fucking seen it at all. They were actually thinking of a completely different movie. I think they were thinking of Blade Runner. But anyway, we watched it, and they said that was a good movie. Like, they didn't expect, because they're not really big on sci-fi as well. And, they were like, that was really good. And I said, yeah, it's fucking classic. But yeah, it didn't help that they mixed it up with Blade Runner, which, funnily enough, I haven't seen Blade Runner in so long, I've forgotten most of it. Okay? We all remember the iconic, memories will disappear like tears in the rain. I love that line. Great fucking line. Tragic fucking. That line is one of the most human lines. That was kind of the point of. For those who kind of miss the point of Blade Runner, it's this idea of these robots that were designed for you know, they had a very simple purpose. You know, they were just designed to go into areas that people weren't supposed to go into and do mining and whatever, but they gained a humility beyond what we think. And they're also, well, hold on a second. Scratch my nose. You know, there's a little bit more to it than that, which is that, you know, they have a limited lifespan as well. You know, they understand death more than we do. And I want to be clear here, there's a lot of ways. I think what gets me with Blade Runner is, and you know, there was the whole, you know, when they made the new movie and it turns out he's a replicant, and oh my god, that guy's a replicant as well. It's like, it takes away from it, because none of that's really what the movie is actually really about. I think even for, was that Ridley Scott? Pretty sure it's Ridley Scott. It's like, it's not, who cares if Harrison Ford's character is a replicant or not? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't actually fucking matter. Like, people get so hung up on that. And I'm like, no, the movie's about something so much deeper. It's about this idea of, you know, like, we are born to die. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not trying to depress people. I'm not trying to make people, you know, feel bad or whatever about life and all that. I'm just saying, you, me, everyone, we're going to die one day. Like, this is a, you know, a truth that we can't really escape. And, you know, we just live the best lives and blah, blah, blah. But what happens when you are born with a very short lifespan, forced to be a certain way, and that's another part of the movie. Like, you know, people who are poor, like, people miss the point of the movie. There are people all throughout the movie who are human, but they are almost identical to the replicants because they cannot rise above. They can't, you know, the people who are born in the poor areas, the people who, you know, like, people miss that there's this story of him hunting down these replicants, right? But there's the story of people who we have an entire fucking lifetime. You know, years. Like, I think the replicants only exist for 5 years, something like that. We get all of these years, and what do we do with our time? What do we have so much time, it's not funny, compared to these, you know, replicants, these robots. Who gives a shit, you know? No one cares. The only reason people care is because they're violent and they might hurt you or kill you or, you know, all this sort of stuff. And it's so, like, there's so much more to the movie that's like a deeper thing. And here's the best part. Before I go any further, because I always say this, one of the things I think a lot of people need to get through their skulls is some movies, you can just watch them for entertainment purposes. Okay? So I'm not trying to, like, say you can't think about, you know, is he a replicant or not? I'm saying that's fine. But that's all I hear people discussing. Like, did you know that he's a replicant? Like, okay. Great. Fucking awesome. That's cool. I love the movie for other reasons. Even though I haven't seen it in a long time, you know, and I want to be clear here, I didn't think about the things that I'm discussing now as much, you know, since I've lost a few people in my life. You know, death has become a much more prevalent thing that I've had to think about. But, you know, it's, what do we do with this whole thing? Like, you know, like, they've got 5 years or whatever it is, and, you know, they're forced to do something. But, like, you look at it another way, for some people it's like, you know, it's good to have, like, at least they've got a purpose in their life. Their life has been made to not be, by definition, worthless. You know, like, we consider them worthless, but replicants, if they do what they're basically, well, I've been sitting in this seat for way too long. I've started to get, like, not bed sores, but similar. But anyway, sorry, it's totally off topic. It's just I had a really, like, my arm just started, like, getting super itchy. Anyway, sorry, should be sticking to the point. But yeah, we don't think about that sort of stuff as much, and that's fine. Like, you know, again, I think one of the biggest things is, it's like when people start, like, talking about, oh, the deepness of the Matrix. Oh, God damn it. I convinced myself it couldn't be an insta-kill. And then it was an insta-kill. Please, round, start early, come on. Big dude, come out first, come on. Music changes. 4. He'll appear in this round. Just fucking no. At the end of the round anyway, so it wouldn't matter if I saved it. But yeah, I was hold on, I mentioned it, and then the fucking Blade Runner. Oh, the Matrix. There's people who. Okay, so I got to say something here that's. I look at this two ways, because when The Matrix came out, I remember leaving the cinema, and people were like, you know, what if, you know, we really are in a simulation? And there's 3 factors that kind of prove we're not, if that makes sense, okay? So, that being said, as is pointed out, how would we know? Because we'd be programmed not to know. Like, potentially, you know. So, take with a grain of salt what I'm about to say, but there's something in this that, you know, if you should take away from it. So the first thing is that there's no crashes in the simulation. And I'm talking about if we were a computer simulation. So what people do, and I fucking hate this, it's like, oh, I'm going to change the goalposts halfway through the discussion. Like, fuck off. Like, actually fuck off, because that's just bullshit, right? So it's like, oh, what I meant was like a simulation. It's like, no, you didn't. No, we were talking about The Matrix, which is a computer simulation. Okay, you want to turn this into a broader conversation about the idea of Earth being simulated. Okay, cool. But we got to start on that grounding, which is, okay, is it a computer? So now, like, we got to first define the fucking rules. But we were talking about The Matrix, which means that you've already set the parameters. You know what I mean? Like, this is the problem. People want to fucking, I don't know. It's not so much win the conversation. I don't know what they want to do. It's just like, hold on a minute. We were talking about The Matrix. That's where we started. So you want to talk about simulations as a whole, like, you know, the idea of a drop of, you know, were we dropped on this planet, bioseeded onto this planet with different species and blah 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 blah, all sorts of shit like that, right? There's tons of different types of simulations, right? Okay, cool. What the fuck is it? Oh, it's that circle for buying the melee backyard. I was thinking, did I just find something secret? But it's the make it. See how City Bell was a circle? I go over here. It's that circle. So it's just, yeah. It's not. I didn't find a secret. But yeah. So the point is that if we talk about computer simulations, there's just too much in the world. Now, I know what people are going to say. Like, a simulation can become perfected if you have enough RAM, CPU, whatever. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, some of these games that come out where, you know, they're not optimized or whatever. Like, one of the things you do to optimize a game is, have you ever fallen through the texture of a game, like, into the beneath, and everything is like, it's not complete? And the reason is because there's no reason to render what can't be seen. So I'm going to pause the game, and I know you can only just see it. See that door there that's in the background, right? Behind where it says Jolly Archie, sorry. There's no back to that door. There's no reverse texture. I mean, okay, before I go any further, there might fucking be. But there shouldn't fucking be. Okay? Because we're never going to see the other side of that door. Right? That wall, the same fucking thing. Because if you put that there, like if they put another texture behind that wall, it's pointless, right? Actually, they might, only because I guess you could technically come up here, but see, no, there, because there's a wall. Like, there doesn't need to be anything beyond. Because I can see this, and this, and this, right? But it's not made of bricks. It's just a square piece with bricks that look textured, you know? They're not actually, it's not actually being made up of individual bricks, right? But the world we live in is, okay? Like, I can't shoot this wall until it breaks. That's not going to happen. Okay, that's not how that works, because it's just a fucking game. Okay, whatever's being programmed is being programmed. If it's not programmed into the game, sweet, 4 left. If it's not programmed into the game, it has no point to exist. And that's why if you've ever fallen behind, like, fallen out of, like, bounds, the reason there's nothing on the other side, like, there has to be another side to this, because I can stand here and look at it, right? But this fence over here, like that wall over there, that doesn't have to have anything on the other side of it, right? It does not need to have that, because it is beyond what I'm going to see, right? You only render what you can see. And there's even, like, things that happen. Like, this is where it gets really trippy, right? So, oh, God damn it. One of the things that's really trippy to think about, sorry, I had to rub my eyes, is people say, you know, like, oh, you know, like, some of the textures, like if I was to look across there, you can see some of the stuff is sort of lower detail, basically, right? Well, you know, so it's fogged a little bit to be lower because they don't want you to. It's to save, you know, to save the memory, to save the computing power. Okay, that's why you don't render things that can't be fucking seen. The inside of that house, only the parts that I can see are rendered. You know, you don't need to render anything else because otherwise you're just wasting power. You're wasting computing power. And it's pointless because you're never supposed to see it. You know what I mean? So, ultimately, it looks weird when you fall between the cracks of the universe. And it's not texture on the other side. People come up with conspiracy theories and shit on that, just for the record. Like, people say stupid shit. Like, my brother did, actually. And I had to explain, I had to show him in an animation program. Because I did animation. And he's like, but if you rendered all of it, and I go, then it would take 50 hours to render instead of 17 hours to render. Now, this is in the early 2000s. Rendering today can still take a long time. There was something the other day where they were talking about rendering. It took them 3 months, I think, to render. No, it took 3... There was a movie, like a big budget, like Pixar movie, and it took them like 3 months to render all the scenes. And that was, and here's the worst part: you render something, right? You render it out, and then you find out that there's like a fucking something, like a texture that's glitched or whatever. Yeah, it's another gun done. This gun's actually really powerful.
Why do things the hard way?
Pretty sure I used this one in one of my Terminus runs when I was running with other people, and they sort of pulled me in early when I wasn't ready. It was only pack. Was it only pack 2? I was doing 3,500. So yeah, I think we did get to pack 3. Yeah, they started getting a bit fucking silly, and I was like, hold on a minute, just let me fucking get pack 3 for fuck's sake. And I did get pack 3. Yeah, this gun was doing, well, let's see what, like 8,000 there. I know I've seen it do, well, yeah, 14,000. Now that's a regular zombie at level 11, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to compare that to later in the game. I'm not a fucking idiot. But it's still, that's a fucking significant amount. Like, if you think about the diminishing returns for later levels, at this point, it's a fucking powerhouse. Now, that is on directed mode as well, which allows you to be a level 15. But yeah, it was interesting. Anyway, getting back to it. So, anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that, yeah, people don't... They look at this stuff and they say, and I go, the problem is we're supposed to believe that there is a computer that would be rendering everything, because if you dig into the dirt, now before you say, it could be like voxel or whatever, but it's not. We can see the individual grains. They're not particle effects, right? Like, this is the thing. If you were to, like, let sand, like, run from your hand into the wind, if it vanished, like, particle effects don't vanish. Don't remain. Like, when you're watching a scene, like Metro 20... Was it Metro? The game Metro. where it's in like the underground and like where the world's all frozen and shit. Is the word frozen or is it virus? I can't remember. Point is, you go onto the surface and there's like wind and snow and all that sort of stuff. In the real world, that snow is real. Like there was water in the sea or a lake or wherever the fuck, and it went into the sky and it became a snowflake, right? And falls to the fucking ground and turns back into water. Now it might turn into ice for a period of time, but eventually it'll turn back into water, or it's just hardened water, right? But every part of every bit of that water can be accounted for. You could theoretically trace the lifespan of that water. You can't do that in Metro because it's just a fucking particle effect, right? There's no snow. It didn't come from anywhere. It's just a constant, like, oh, this is meant to look like snow, right? And I know for some people they're like, like, whatever. And I go, yeah, but why wouldn't they just do that for us? Like, this seems like a pretty fucking insane simulation on a computer if that's what they're chasing. You know what I mean? If they're chasing this idea of perfection, why?
Tasting bad. What's it do?
When you can do it cheaper, so to speak. Now, I know what you're going to say. Okay, that's me, just the thing. So that's the first one to think about. Why would they do it that way? When there's easier solutions, if you will. The other side of it is, if this is a computer simulation, that's also what you've got to consider. We know how to track these things. We know how to, look at this sort of stuff. We know so much about our world. There's things that just go beyond the idea of a simulation. Because you can limit a simulation. Like, we don't have to let the little, these zombie enemies in this game, they're not going off and living lives. I know what you're going to say. Oh, like the movie Wreck-It Ralph. And I go, yeah, but Wreck-It Ralph, again, is a movie. Like, Wreck-It Ralph doesn't actually work. Like, that's the most hilarious part. Is people are like, oh, what if it's like Wreck-It Ralph? And I go, but the thing is that Wreck-It Ralph literally doesn't work. It's a movie. It's just fun. Okay? Like, why the fuck would you be able to transmit your code through the fucking electrical conduits into the fucking thing? And then there's a lot of other things. Like, how did Qubit know they were going to get unplugged? Right? Now, I know you can say, oh, out of order or whatever, but some games are just unplugged. You unplug them, and then you're like, oh, yeah, well, we got a new game, so, whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. I guess maybe he was a game that was out of order, and then he had to get it. It's just... So let's not go with the Wreck-It Ralph angle. And then you look at the Matrix. Everything is code. But that's the thing. Now, I know people are going to point to the Animatrix and the glitch episode of Animatrix. Now, if you don't know what the Animatrix is, the Animatrix is... It's basically a bunch of anime episodes set in the Matrix world. And it has like one episode is like a two-parter that explains, what the fuck? Not again. Oh, sorry. Bunch of nasal. Okay, no, not again. So earlier on, if you're on my channel, you can actually go and watch a really funny clip where I got the server fucked up, like went out of sync or whatever, and I end up back in the starting area, and then I decided to just like walk around a little bit. So I did a slide, and I just instantly like slide. If I get a chance, and I probably won't do it because I'm too lazy, but if I had, gumption, I would add in like pinball sounds because it was like ching, 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 and like bouncing off the walls and shit. It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, it was glitch. Primo glitch. But yes, there's just too many things. I know what people are going to say, but then you programmed to think this way and feel that way. Oh my god, I'm down to the last level! Oh my god, excitement! Oh, are you kidding me? Because I know what happened. That killed the special zombie. The fucking Mangler. Come on. Round start.
Insta kill.
I grabbed that like a second too. Give me a Mangala, please, 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 please. Yes, 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 yes. Mangala, over here, over here. You got 13 seconds. You got 13 seconds, bro. Okay, go on behind the boss. 6 seconds. Come on, hit it, hit it, hit it. It's gonna fucking hit it. That's fucking bullshit. Yeah! That's so fucking annoying. I know you're gonna say like, oh, I should have shot at it. The problem is I wanted the Mangala to move to where the fucking because if I had stood out there, the Mangala would have gone 1, 2, done what he's doing now, fired his gun, gone 2 steps and fired his gun. Like there was no way to fucking make that work. Even if I shot every fucking zombie there, he still would have wasted 3 or 4 seconds lining me up and trying to hit me with a fucking thing. Fucking can't. But yeah, so it's one of those things where why would they design it to be so precise? Why would they create so much of this simulation, like the universe and stuff like that? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, it would make more sense to put us on a flat Earth with fucking, you know, fake sky. You know what I mean? Like, there's just too many things that go against the idea of this being a computer simulation. Now, does that mean that I'm right? No, because you're right. They could have programmed me to think this way, or whatever, like, you know, as part of the computer simulation. But is that the thing? Do we have free will? Do we not have free will? Do we, you know, you go on. It just, there's too many factors that just, you know, so if you've ever had like an existential crisis where you're like, oh my god, are we real or are we fake? I don't know. Yeah, okay. The chances of this being a simulation are extremely limited. Every example of how this could be a simulation falls down when you actually get to video games. And that's the thing. Most of the theories, this is what's hilarious. Okay? This is what's going to blow you fucking 90% of the this is a simulation stories, right? So, hold on. I've got to put the control down for a sec. I'm just getting the itchies. Most of the people who say that, oh, you know, this guy posited this idea of us all being in a simulation and blah, 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 right? The people they're quoting, I'm not saying that video games didn't exist. So don't fucking put that word in my mouth, because that's bullshit. Most of them computers exist in video games. But not like today. And what people are trying to do is basically update the idea, you know, these guys were smart. And I'm like, okay, here's something to think about. The Turing test is worthless. Okay? If you don't know what the Turing test is, people love to talk about the Turing test but have no fucking clue what the Turing test is. The Turing test is the idea of if an AI can trick you into thinking it's a cute person, then it's AI. Now, if you don't know about deepfake AI phone calls, and like there's literally people now, and it's fucked up, they will get recordings of your parents or your loved ones from videos and things like that. Like someone could be doing this right now with these, you know, theoretically. And then will ring up their parents or ring up their kids and say, oh, can you lend me money? Or, you know, I've forgotten the access code to the to the Wi-Fi, or I don't have whatever, or I need something, right? And you think it's your loved one. Okay? The Turing test says that's true AI now. When Alan Turing came up with the Turing test, and I don't know how he would feel today, right? I don't know how he would feel. If he hadn't been, all the shit happened to him, he hadn't survived, and he was still alive today, what would he think would he admit? I don't know. I don't know if he's arsehole enough, if that makes sense. The problem is people like to be arseholes on behalf of other people. The classic one was a guy I knew years ago. He always talked about how he loved Einstein. And I said, you don't love Einstein. You hate Einstein. You hate him with a fucking passion. He goes, what do you mean? And they go, for someone to do what you do to Einstein, you have to hate him. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't hate Einstein. I go, you do. You fucking hate him with a passion. And he's like, I don't get why you keep saying I hate him with a passion. I go, because no one could turn around and say Einstein was right on everything. Because Einstein himself always said that the true science isn't about being proven right. It's about being proven right until you're proven wrong. Right? That's actually something he said, or intimated. I don't know if he said the words exactly like that, but that's basically what he said. Because when it was discovered, every time someone pointed out to Einstein, you got this wrong, usually some smart-ass motherfucker who's like, ha-ha, and that proves that everything you say is wrong. And he's like, how does that prove everything I say is wrong? I proved something. You found extra information that disproved it. That's literally what science is. I mean, here's something to think about. Einstein did not come up with the theory of relativity. He came up with the special theory of relativity. Another person came up with the theory of relativity. The theory of special relativity is the idea of time and that sort of stuff, whereas the theory of relativity was actually coined long before Einstein, right? But that's the thing. It's even hard to find this information because everything leads back to Einstein. The poor guy who made the theory of relativity gets kind of fucked. And Einstein would be appalled that people do that, right? That we've done that with our history, right? That you can't find the original people. You have to dig it out of old textbooks and shit. But that's just it. People assume that, you know, and that's the thing, you're already sitting there trying to fuck over his legacy. Because, as I said, he would be appalled if people just took his work and said, that's all of it. And it's all correct. Multiple things. One of the funniest ones is Einstein did something, I can't remember what it was. It was proven wrong. I can't remember what it was. And then he changed it. But it turns out that what was actually proven wrong originally was actually technically correct. And by Einstein changing it, he then made himself wrong. He made it right for the time, but wrong in the long run. And I watched a video on it the other day. It was Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about it. And he said that's the thing. And Neil deGrasse Tyson will say, like, people want to always like, oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson got this wrong. He lied. It's like, wait. Well, the guy who pretended to have solved maths problems and lied about it, that's lying, right? To get credibility. Right, the guy who faked several of the periodic table of the elements. Neil deGrasse Tyson will always say, if new information comes along, like he has... There was one the other day, there was an interesting thing where I can't remember what it was, but it was something that Neil deGrasse Tyson was told, and then someone came up to him. And again, it was some YouTuber, it was probably fucking, fucking Joe Rogan, the cutbag. Or someone like that, who was like, oh, but you were proven wrong on this. And he goes, of course I was. Because the information was wrong. And he's like, but you said it. And he's like, of course I said it, because it was correct at the time. And he didn't say it exactly the way I am, but he basically was saying, it's not, you want to catch me out as if I'm a liar. I can't be a liar if that's what it was, and that's what we understood. Now that we know more, we know that was wrong, that hypothesis or that whatever. It doesn't suddenly mean that, oh my god, I lied. Lying would mean that I knew that it was that other thing, but I chose to say it was something else. Right? Now, the guy who had called out Neil deGrasse Tyson, like in a podcast or whatever, like another podcast. So basically there was a guy who proved a theory, and instead of being respectful about it, he's been a total cunt, right? And he's like, Neil deGrasse Tyson, my theory, the theory that I was able to prove, already existed. And so Neil deGrasse Tyson basically came out and said, yes, there were two theories. There was one that was accepted, and one that was counter but not yet accepted. Okay? So this one that was accepted was tested and appeared to be the correct answer. I'm sorry, I'm doing hand motions and you can't see it. Right? So basically, I'm doing like left hand, like I'm saying, like, so we had theory 1 was tested and fit. There were certain things that were a little bit about it. Then there was theory 2. Okay? And I've said this in previous videos. A theory is not a guess. Okay? You can say it's a guess, it's not a guess. Right? Saying I have a theory, that's bullshit. Okay? Right? A hypothesis as well is not a guess. Okay? A guess is I saw Jack walking down the road. I think he's going to the supermarket. Right? Oh, what do you base that on? Well, the supermarket's that direction. Now, just to put this into context, where I live, there's a supermarket, there are delis, shops, there's a butcher's, there's a service station, there's... He might go past all of those and keep going to Office Works or, Bunnings or, which is Office Works is office stuff, like office supplies. And then there's, Bunnings or whatever. And this is the thing. All you know, because I haven't even said, is he driving? Is he not driving? If your assumption would be he was walking, right? It's like, no, he was driving. And I'm like, well, he could have been going anywhere. He could have been going to fucking Darwin for all we fucking know. Right? You go north from Adelaide and keep going, you're going to get to Darwin eventually. Take a couple of days, but you'll get there. So you don't fucking know. But if you saw John get into his car and kiss his wife, and every time he kisses his wife, he just goes out for a few hours because she's sick and he would only leave her for a couple of hours, you could assume he's going somewhere local. So you have now a reasonable version. The problem is you're still working on probabilities. Okay, there's a probability he's going to the store, but he could still be going to Bunnings. He's probably not going to Darwin. You can write that one off the list, and that had a low probability to begin with anyway. But that's the thing. If you see him packing 10 bags into his fucking car and his wife and taking off in the northern direction, you could make a probable guess that he might be going to Alice Springs or Darwin or Uluru or fucking who knows, right? He might not even leave the state. He could be going to Coober Pedy where they shot the movie Pitch Black, or he could be going to I think they also shot Wolf Creek out there as well. He could be going in a whole bunch of places. You only know that he's most likely going on a long trip, but he might not even be leaving the city. He might be having what they call a staycation. Like staying in the city because, whatever. He could be going to Clare. He could be going to Barossa Valley where they make wine and shit. Like, you've only got so much information, right? But if you know that he wants to go to Darwin and he's been talking about Darwin for weeks, you could make an assumption he's going to Darwin. Right? You need data. So you can make a guess, but a guess is just based on probabilities, right? A hypothesis is John always said he wanted to go to Darwin. John is packing his bag and he's got his wife in the car. He's packed several bags. He literally says the words, hey, hello, next stop, Darwin. Do you know what I mean? Like, then you've got a hypothesis, so then you're like, hey, John, where are you going? I'm going to Darwin. Okay, so I've proven my hypothesis. I now have a theory, right? That's how a theory works, right? So you need enough data to have a fucking hypothesis. Otherwise, it's just a fucking blind guess, okay? Now, your guess could be correct. You could say, John's going to the supermarket, and he goes to the supermarket, right? Congratulations, but you didn't prove anything. You didn't have any data. And your guess is still only as good as the next time you see him drive past. You don't have anything new. Now, if you know that every week on a Thursday at 3 p.m., he gets in his car and drives to the supermarket, and you know that it's now 3, whatever, and he's going that direction, you can posit that there's a pretty high chance that he's going to the supermarket. But here's the interesting part. There's nothing that forces him to go to the supermarket. He could still choose to go wherever the fuck he wants. And that's kind of the interesting part when it comes to theories, and this comes back to the science of it. You can prove something a million times. You can get the result a million times. You can say, okay, every Thursday for 75 years, John gets in his car, rain, hail, or shine, at 3 p.m. and drives to the supermarket. The supermarket's still there. He got in his car and he drove to Darwin. And that's what comes down to with theories. You can prove something, and it can be that it happens every single time. Right? Like, you might have a thing that you prove. I have this electron and I do this thing to it and it becomes a neutron. And then one time you do that thing and it doesn't become a neutron, and you ask yourself, wait, is my theory wrong? So then you have to go back and look. Oh, it turns out it wasn't actually a neutron, it was something else. You know, or it was whatever. I don't even know these things properly. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't actually an electron. Like, or maybe it was like every the electron that I was using just happened to be had one of something in it that I had never noticed before. And this time it had two, so when this experiment was run, a new outcome appeared. And now I understand. I'm like, wait, this electron looked the same as the last electron with my telescope, but now that I've seen it with an even more powerful telescope, I realize that all of those electrons were one type of electron. This one time I used another electron without even realizing. Right? And so something was proven. But it doesn't mean that my previous hypothesis and whatever was wrong. It's just that, okay, I've proven that if you have an electron and one other whatever, something tiny that we didn't see until recently, the outcome will always be this. But if you have two of those other things, then it becomes something else. So we've changed what the theory, what it is. The theory evolved because it's like, okay, we have new information. But there's fucksticks out there like Joe Rogan and fucking all sorts of dodgy, shitty, stupid people who will say, oh, you were lying. And it's like, you weren't lying. You didn't have all the information, for fuck's sake. Right? You found something new because something different happened. Something that shouldn't have happened. And that's the crazy thing about this world. But people got to turn it into, oh, you lied or whatever. And it's like, no. Again, coming back to Einstein. Einstein's understanding of the universe was based on what we knew about the fucking universe. We didn't have electron telescopes, as far as I know, when he was alive. 90% sure they just came around in the 90s. I could be wrong. I'm not totally sure when they were invented. But that's the thing. Electron telescopes now exist. Okay? Okay, sorry. I'm just going to show my nephew the pinball. Oh, what? Um, so yeah, there's like people do this stuff where it's like people don't understand the difference between a lie and misinformation. If you learn something, right? So if you believe one thing because that's what you're being told and shown, and then you find out something else, then you weren't lying because you didn't know. You know what I mean? Whereas if you know, and this is what this guy was trying to say about Einstein, right? Neil deGrasse Tyson, sorry. It's like you knew the second thing, and he goes, yes, but it hadn't been proven yet. It hadn't been demonstrated. Now it's been proven. He's like, yeah, I've adjusted. You're absolutely like that's good. You did a good thing for science. Like, stop fucking pretending. Like, this dude is just a disingenuous cunt. Now, as it is, the funny part is that, Joe Rogan or whoever it was, I should keep saying Joe Rogan, was one of the people that was interviewing him, did a fucking, was trying to, like, catch him in a lie or whatever the fuck. The guy who actually, proved this theory and all the rest of it, it then came out, this is the best part, that he didn't even prove the theory. Right? He was part of a team and he tried to take full credit for it. He's actually been removed from the team for being a disingenuous cunt. And Neil deGrasse Tyson actually went to bat for him. And actually said, like, like people saying, like, oh, you had him fired. And he's like, oh, no. I told them that, he just needs to calm the fuck down. I mean, I don't even know if I said the word fuck, but he basically just said he just needs to calm down and not take credit for things that he didn't do, and that's fine. But he's trying to make himself into this, and this is what people do all the time. It's like, oh, I know more than you, or whatever. And we all do it. I mean, I try not to do it. I might be doing it now without even thinking, but it's just like, it's frustrating because people, they're so busy, as I said, trying to catch people in a lie. And they don't understand what a fucking lie is. A lie is deception. Intentional deception. Right? There's sometimes when you say something where you hope that it's going to be a different outcome, and that's where things can get very nuanced and grey area. But there's a difference between going out and saying, hey, I want you, like people, and this is the thing, then people try to pretend they're having a grey area thing. Oh, I gave people advice on how to spend their money, whatever. Oh. But yeah, it always gets me. Because people just, oh my god, oh, this guy lied. Like, okay, did he? What was the intentional deception? And is it invented intentional deception, or just you saying that they intentionally deceive people? Because the amount of times that people are like, oh, this guy didn't have to lie, so why did he? And I'm like, you've never lied. You've never said something that you wish was true, and it could have been true, but circumstances went against it. Actually, one of the worst cases I had with this was a guy I knew years ago, and I was actually there when his girlfriend split up with him, and it was weird and full on, and I didn't want to be there. No one wanted to be there, but his girlfriend. Sorry, I got so many itches. Hold on, I gotta put the air conditioner on. Oh no, I've only got 40 seconds left on my double thing. I think part of it is that I'm getting like, oh my god, I'm so close. Actually, I'm gonna do a wee as well. I'll go back in a sec.
So anyway, we were there with this. We were going out. So there was me and then one of my mates, and there was this guy and his girlfriend. And just before, like, we were supposed to meet at like 7 or 8 or whatever it was. We're going to nightclub. We were getting. We're going to eat. We're going to eat, and then like separately, and then meet up. And we had someone we knew, so we were going to try and go there early or whatever. So anyway, I can't remember the exact details. It's 20 years ago. But basically, this girl, so the girlfriend of the dude, she had a sister who was just a cunt, right? And she would just ring up, and the girl should have told her to fuck off. Except she couldn't, because the sister, like, basically the parents were kind of shit parents. They weren't bad people, they had favorites, you know what I mean? They played favorites a bit. And basically the sister, who was an older sister, would, like, lied a lot. I found this out later on, more, like, at the time. Because I didn't understand why, you know. But basically, the parents owned where she lived, or they were paying part of the rent, because she was living in, like, a pretty good area. And basically the parents were paying, not all of it, but some of it, as a, you know, to get her into a safe area, basically. So she could afford, like, to pay her own rent. She wanted to, but her parents basically insisted. They put their foot down and said, no, you gotta basically not live where we tell you to live. Like, probably clear about that. I don't know why I'm giving, like, all these extra details. Basically, yeah, because of the way the sister was, she was always threatening and shit, being like, you know, I'll tell mum and dad that. So the mum and dad were like, no sex before marriage and stuff like that. And this girl was like, you know, fucking my mate. But yeah, so we were there, and everything was fine. And me and my mate had already met up, and we had something to eat, and then we were just waiting, and then we all said, this is back when, like, all you had was SMS on your phone, like text. And texts cost money, like, proper money. You know, 20 cents a text. Right, it's 20 years ago, as I said. So, we texted each other, and you didn't have group text. Like, you texted one person, and then whatever. So the point is, like, we were ready, she was ready, everything was ready to go. And then she sends a text and goes, nope, sorry, I gotta go do this thing for my sister. So she had to go pick someone up, something. There was something she had to do. It was bullshit. And the sister knew we were all hanging out. And that was part of the reason, because the older sister wanted to hang out with us. But none of us were actually her friend. And she basically alienated all of her friends. I think. I don't know. I don't know what the story was with the sister. She was just kind of a fuckstand of a person. Like, she was just dodgy. I only met her a couple of times, but... And I must admit, I was taking the opinion of other people. I probably shouldn't do that, but... She seemed pretty shitty. And anyway, she was always threatening to tell the parents about her stuff and whatever. It was just all bullshit. And then, see, there's things I know, and I try not to fill in the gaps too much, because I'm assuming some things here. But anyway, long story short, she had to go and do this thing. So this guy got stroppy. So the thing is we were going to rock up, like, really early, which is not always the best at a nightclub. It's actually better to rock up a bit later. However, you got to wait in line, blah, 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 bullshit. But, you know, like, yeah. So this dude, and we always felt like he was a bit of a dick, but we put up with it, you know. I paused that time because I don't know if you saw the screen stuttering, so I just need to... Sometimes if you pause and just wait a couple of seconds, the screen, it catches up. But yeah. Fucking annoying. But yeah, so long story short, she was late. We were late, you know, sort of. And it didn't matter. Like, we got to hang out, we had a chat or whatever. Anyway, so he comes in and he goes, you know, you said you were ready an hour ago, you know, 2 hours ago or whatever.
right? And she goes, I was. But she said, I had to go pick up this person or whatever, and I had to get changed. Then I had to change back, because she had to go, like, she didn't want to wear, like, her good clothes, you know. She had to pick up the boyfriend, now I remember. Yeah. Basically, yeah, the sister wanted her to pick up her boyfriend. So, the boyfriend was a bit of a dick. Some things actually happened there. No, not... I don't know the full details. I know that the boyfriend got punched in the face, apparently, or at least deserved to. I don't know if he actually did or someone just said that he did, and we all just hoped it was true. He was a dick. And, yeah, he was looking at her. Like, you know, he had a girlfriend. The older sister was his girlfriend, but he wanted to fuck the girl, like, that we knew. I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? There was more to it, apparently, and I don't know. I never got the full story. I don't want to say too much, but I just remembered that part. So that's why she got changed. Because I was trying to remember why she got changed. She got changed because she's wearing, like, you know, club wear and about to get in the car alone with this fucking creeper. Who the sister, you know, was going out with. So basically, long story short, sorry, I'm getting off topic. But he's like, so you weren't ready? And she goes, I was ready and I had to get changed, you know, because, you know, my sister and all this stuff. It's like, oh, it's always his sister. You always go. I wish you wouldn't lie to me. And of course, she's not lied to him, right? This is what happened. And I want to be clear here, like, just for the record, you can, because I know someone out there's going to be like, well, how do you know she didn't lie? And I go, because it just wasn't really who she was. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, she couldn't lie. She could. But it didn't make sense for her to lie. And she was often, and when she, like, that's the thing. 9 times out of 10, if she said she was ready to go, she was ready to go. Like, she didn't lie before. Like, this wasn't, like, all the time. Now, for him, it was, because the sister, basically, this older sister would find out. Like, she'd find out. Like, the girl that we knew, so the girlfriend of the guy that we knew, it's getting confusing. So basically, I'm just going to make up some names, okay? So let's go with John again. So John had a girlfriend named Sally. Sally had an older sister named Rachel. So Rachel was cunt, and then there was the boyfriend, Brian. The dodgy boyfriend, Brian. And so she had to pick up Brian, because the older sister, who could have picked up Brian, had an excuse, because she found out, she was talking to the mum, so Rachel and Sally's mum, because she was always asking, like, what are you doing this weekend, and stuff like that. She would be like, oh, we're going out, you know, clubbing, and she'd be like, oh, you know, don't do this, don't do that, don't do something else. She's always us, so it's very, very, you know, whatever, which is fine, you know, but they were just a little bit imposing. Anyway, so what happened is that Sally would always do this shit. So Rachel would always do this shit with Sally. We didn't see it most of the time. That's the point I'm trying to get to, is that for him, he saw it more often. But in the times that we had seen it, it all made sense. And as I said, I met Rachel, and she was a cunt. Like, just things she would say, she was jealous. And there were a couple of reasons why. And when I say a couple of reasons, Rachel had gone on the shallow end of the tit pool. Sally had big tits. And she was very attractive. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, I'm not the sort of person to, like, swoop in when someone's on the rebound or whatever, but God, I was tempted. Wouldn't have happened anyway, because I don't think she saw me that way. But still, it was like, oh man, like, you know, she's hot. And a very nice person, you know, except for this dodgy fucking, you know. As I said, things happen. In the end, Sally got very much independent. Let's just put it that way. I think he groped her, this Brian dude. I don't think he outright, you know, like, penetrated. It didn't seem that way. I feel like there would have been more said. But I do know that apparently some dude fucking went up to him and fucking... Actually, I think he got punched I think the bouncer threw him. I think he threw him into a wall, pretending to throw him out the door. Because he was a fucking... This Brian dude was dodgy anyway. Like, he was known. Like, I had heard of him before. back when I was part of the nightclub scene. Sort of. I knew people who ran nightclubs. I seem to always know, like, the brother of a sister or somebody who knows the owner. And it's not that I got, like, special privilege or anything. I just found out things. Like, I'd hear word like, oh, did you hear that, blah, 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 did this? And I'm like, who's blah, blah, blah? Oh, that's the bouncer. Oh, okay. So I didn't know these people enough. But, yeah. Apparently the bouncer intervened. But I don't know what had actually happened. But, yeah. But I also know that the people I'm talking to love to do wishful thinking as their thing. You'd later find out, oh, that didn't actually happen, and something really messed up did happen. I know the police. That's the extent of my knowledge, and that's the thing. I didn't know this. And again, these are made-up names. Their name's not Sal. Yeah, none of these names are the real names, just for the record. But yeah, so there are basically people who. I'm getting into this part of it. Sorry, I didn't want to even mention this part of it. So, long story short, Sally was late, but it didn't matter because we were going to be early. But this guy, the friend, what name did I give him? John. And John just goes, "Oh, you're always lying to me." And she's like, "I don't lie to you. Like, I told you what happened." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's always this sort of stuff. Like, your sister is this and your sister that." She's like, "Yeah, because my sister's a cunt. Whatever." And anyway, he just kept hounding her, and it was really uncomfortable, really super uncomfortable. And basically we got to the point where we were so uncomfortable, we were like, we're just going to go do our own thing. And it was at that moment that Sally sort of made a decision, which made things a little more awkward, but I'm the sort of person, and I was never. I was joking about being in on this, the nightclub. It's more that I just went out with people who, like, I have a cousin who, the girl that he married and has kids with. She was at one of the club dances at was it Heaven 2 or Church here in Adelaide. I don't know if either of them still exist. I know Heaven 2's gone. It was Heaven nightclub, and that closed. So then they made a sequel nightclub called Heaven 2. So it was the same nightclub, different owners, as far as I understand it. Anyway, the point is that yeah, she was. So I knew people like that who knew people, and then yeah, so all my mates would go out. They weren't really into it too much, but Sally was. But yeah, she basically turned around and said, "Yeah, let's go somewhere." And because we were going to leave, and I sort of just I didn't get committal on the whole thing, and I don't know how I would have. After we got in the car, she got in the car, we drove off, and John was just like, whatever the fuck, I don't care, blah blah blah. And he assumed as well that that I fucked her. Like, that was where it got really odd. And it was like, no. And she wasn't like cracking, well, I don't think she was, unless I missed it. And I don't know how I would have reacted, but she just wanted to go. She just didn't want to be around her dodgy fucking boyfriend. And she'd had a fucked up night. And I don't know, by the way, I want to be clear here. Later on was when the whatever happened between her and the sister's boyfriend happened. Because the sister would continue doing that shit, like, oh, can you pick up my boyfriend? Can you pick up whoever? Like, that was her thing, like, constantly. Just fuck. But, yeah. And that was the other side of it as well. Like, this Brian dude, again, not his real name. He's probably the closest to his real name, actually. I just realized I only changed like 2 letters. So, that might give you an idea of what his name is. If you're Australian, his name is, it's the name of a bay. Some people out there are like, oh. But yeah, so anyway, he, she had this shitty night, and this dude, kind of, I guess the story is more personal to me now I think about it. But yeah, basically at the end of the day, it's like it always got me. It was like, you know, dude, she wasn't lying to you. She was ready to go. Like, you know, I found out later on she'd actually sent him. Wait, when? No, they wouldn't have been a photo. Oh no, because no, I'm doing the dates wrong. Yeah, there was actually, because they had more advanced phones than us. So you could send photos, text. You couldn't just send text. I had like a really simple phone. But yeah. You start to forget how long ago some technology did come into existence. So like, oh, that didn't exist. And it's like, wait, no, it did. I mean, they were very, you know, not great pictures. But, yeah, so my point is that she wasn't a liar. It was the situation changed. But after that, he kept calling her, like, you know, she was always lying to me and all stuff. And we kept saying to him, like, what the fuck do you mean she was lying to you? Like, it's not her fault that her sister's a cunt. Oh, well, she should just say no to her sister. And I'm like, she can't. I think that was what disappointed me the most. That's kind of the part of the story that... It was why we stopped hanging out with him. Because he was always, like, selfish, bullshit. And we just... You want to do your own thing, man? Because, of course, I found out after that he says... Because he starts... Because where it went crazy as well was he started saying, like, you know, it's like when you say this. Like, when you cancel on me. I'm like, when my disabled sister needs me to be there for her. Oh, yeah, but, you know, like, I can't say no to that. Wait, are you calling me a liar? You've met my fucking sister. Like, I was fucking livid, man. He still didn't click. It still didn't click to him. It's like, oh, that's different. Because you've got a real reason. It's like, fuck it. But he was like a bit of a rich kid. You know, I'm calling him John, which is completely different from his name, just for the record. His name was actually Jack. No, just kidding. They had a very different name. Like, different letter numbers and everything. Like, different number of letters, sorry. But yeah, it was... Always got me, though. Just this idea, like, to him, it's like, if what you say doesn't happen, you're a liar. Oh, God, it's twitching again. I'm saying so close to leveling up. Oh, that was a... Oh, still fucking around. Come on. Meow? Hello? Hello, Ringer. You right? Yeah, I love you too. The good news is, if I can get this gun to fire, even though everything's going fucking wonky shit. Oh, God. But yeah, that guy, there was a certain point where it was just like, stop calling everyone a liar. But see, there were things, okay, when I say that he had a gardener, he wasn't like he had a big estate with a gardener. They had a guy who would come around and do the gardening. Like, it was like a local dude, and they'd give him like some money or whatever. It might have been just a thing, but this guy. So let's talk about John for a second. And the guy who was doing the gardening, I don't know what happened. I don't know the full story, and I still don't know the full story. But I didn't know the full story at the time. But something apparently happened where he was asked to do something. Right, like something that he'd, like normally he would just do the garden, right? And they called him the garden, just for the record. And oh, by the way, I'm in Australia, so no, it wasn't a black dude, just or a Mexican, because I'm in Australia. And I mean, even like he wasn't Aboriginal or anything. It doesn't matter if he was, but yeah, he was just a dude who lived in the area, just for the record. He was actually a Greek dude. He was really nice. But anyway, they had the father one day comes out. And something hadn't been done or something. And it was something like extra. Like it wasn't like, oh, this is something that you normally do and then you didn't do it. it was like he'd been asked to do something, and it wasn't done. And so the father asked him, have you done what I said? And the guy was like, yeah, I've done the garden, you know, as normal. And he said, well, I saw that you didn't do this. And he goes, oh, sorry, I forgot. Because he basically, whatever it was like, let's just for argument's sake say he told him to spray weed killer or something, like on the garden, like or on certain parts or whatever. And so he put the stuff, he said like the stuff's in the shed out the back or whatever. And the dude was already working as far as I know, like as far as I understand the story. And so the father like just, oh, you lied to me and all this shit. But the question was asked, did you do what I asked? And the guy's like, I always do the gardening, like you don't normally ask me. So he was like, yes, I did the gardening, which is exactly what he did. And then there was an extra thing that he wanted him to do after he'd finished. So he said, like, after you finish doing what you normally do, you know, go do whatever this extra thing was. I have no idea what the extra thing was, okay? But I know that it involved something. Like, something had to be... Like, it wasn't like, you know, water a different section. So he was already watering these sections or whatever. But either way, forgetting to do something because it's a brand new thing to do, you know... It was just fucking pathetic. And the father was like, blah, 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 blah. And I remember, like, him taking this, like, fucking angle of, like, you know, oh, you know, my dad was right to tell him to fuck off and all sorts of stuff. I'm like, he's done your gardening for how long? Like, not even as an official gardener, as far as I understand. Like, I think he was just a dude who was, like, an old dude who was just bored. It was like, oh, you have a very nice garden. Because they had a biggish house. Again, they weren't, like, rich. You know, they were just had a nice big house. But he just turned it into this thing, and he's like, you know... And it split the neighborhood. And that's why I don't know enough about it. I just know that I was driving through the area. So what basically how I was involved in it was I was driving to pick him up. And this was months earlier, by the way. This was months before this particular night. I don't even think he even had that girl. I don't even think, like, quote-unquote, Sally was in the picture. So... Yeah, I was driving in, and then there were people, like, just saw him with me getting out of the car. I just sort of, like, I don't know, there was, like, an air of, like, you people are fucked. But, yeah, this old dude, as far as I understand it, he'd been in the area for a long time. And, yeah, they were basically, you know, calling him a liar and... just going off their fucking nut. And the more that I heard about it, like, the more that the details came out, the more I'm thinking, I'm on the side of the garden. Like, I don't know enough about this. And I'm sort of filling in some of the blanks, but it's like, when later on, when this whole thing happened, I thought to myself, remember the gardener? I reckon. Yeah, here's where I don't know, because I only have so much information. Here's my hypothesis. I think that either, you know, so I try not, like, you... Okay, if anyone ever asks the question, you know, what is it? Give me a sec. Nature or nurture. Both of them have been proven. And so, to me, it's both. Like, some people are just born as assholes, and some people become assholes in their environment. Because I've seen plenty of people who've grown up in the worst conditions. Oh, I'll give you a really good example. So a dude I went to school with, I didn't know how bad he had it. Like, he was always this nice guy, like, really nice dude. I'm getting tired of having to pause the game, by the way, for these fucking server-side glitches. It's going to really piss me off. But yeah, so he I went to school with him. And I'm not going to say, like, too much, but I asked him where he was from, and he always said he was from Australia, right? And I said, oh, I mean, like, where are your parents from? And he's like, oh, they're from wherever. And I found out later on he wasn't actually born in Australia. I actually don't know if he was born on land, right? Because his parents came to Australia on a boat, right? And if you're Australian and you've heard of boat people, yeah, I went to school, with boat people without even realizing. And this is why I don't want to say too much. But I realize I have to set the scene. So, this guy, he was on a boat to Australia, and I don't know, I kind of think, and this is where I don't want to say too much, just because he introduced me to his dad, right? And I was always introduced as this was his dad. And then we were at his birthday, and I said, your dad wants to talk to you. And some people gave me a funny look. And then there was a little bit of jabber at the table in another language. And then they sort of backed off. And I was like, did I say something wrong? And they said, no, it's all good.
Let's do things the hard way.
And I think, because I sort of felt like he wasn't his dad. He was introducing him as his dad. And I want to be clear here before some fucking peanut sack of shit. I think, for him, it was... I kind of found out it wasn't actually... I did actually find this out. How I found out was pretty crazy. Sort of. It was sort of just incidental, but yeah. So his dad died. That's all I'm going to say. And he died protecting Australians, just to put it that way, right? In Vietnam. Okay? So he was actually older than us. That's why I always wondered, because he was 2 years older than everyone else in the class. But he lied about his age, right? And the reason is because for the first 2 years of his life, for a couple of years, he went and did English courses. He was very quiet, and there was a lot of stuff he didn't understand because he hadn't had full English, whatever. But he understood English, but most people in his family didn't speak very good English, right? And they hadn't really been given a chance. You can fucking say what you want. I know there's a bunch of Aussies out there that will say a whole bunch of really racist shit because they have no fucking idea. But I want you to understand one fucking thing, right? His dad had protected Australia, okay? So when Vietnam went tits up, his dad was one of the people, okay? Had fought with them. So to begin with, he'd fought with them, and then when they were coming out of the country, he was part of the last line of defense, basically. So he was South Vietnamese, okay? When they were at the airport, there was nothing. There was nothing left. Okay, all the transports had gone, and they were desperate. And there was an Aussie there, and he said, "I'm going to turn around, and you're going to get on this boat." And the boat was not going to Australia. Right? It was going to another country. I think it went to Cambodia, actually. I'm not totally sure. But it went to another country, and he said, when you get to that country, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But if you can find the right people, you can get to Australia. And when they got to Australia, this guy, every day he looked them up, right, on the refugee lists. And when they got to Australia, he went and he found them and he helped them. He basically vouched for them, all sorts of stuff, and got some of their other friends and family over. So they were the first to make it to Australia, him and his mum. And I think she was pregnant with him when all this happened. I think the father conceived him just before the father died. Oh, God damn, I missed that. Could be wrong. I don't know that much, but what I do know is that the uncle came across, but they called him the father because of a lot of racist Australians. And I'm not even kidding, right? So the uncle became his dad, and I think he was there as his dad, but it was actually his uncle. And he grew up and went to school, and I was friends with him, and he was a cool guy. He taught me how to play, how to always win or draw at noughts and crosses. He was really fucking good at it. What the? Oh. Really? Successfully exfil? Damn it. You don't know, you can't exfil. But yeah, so I didn't know how fucked up his past was. And I still don't know all the details. And there's something else to it, which is the guy who I found out his uncle might actually be his dad. Because there's something about the dates that don't quite match up. Because if you take into consideration when the evacuations of Vietnam and all that sort of stuff, I feel like there's like a bigger gap than makes complete sense. But there were people who were trying to get out, like, in the intervening years, you know what I mean? So many of the people I knew that I grew up with a lot of Vietnamese people. I didn't even know I grew up with a lot of Vietnamese people. We just said they were Chinese or whatever, right? Like, you know, oh, the Chinese kids, you know? And they often wouldn't bother correcting it. And I didn't know, like, I was ignorant as a kid, you know what I mean? It wasn't like I didn't care. Like, later on, like, I always tried to know, like, even then I wanted to know. But I was always introduced as, you know, being Chinese or whatever. You know, later on I learned that they were Thai and Filipino and all that sort of stuff, you know, but it was always easier to just say Chinese. So there's people out there that are like, oh my god, as if you didn't know. And I'm like, I was a fucking child. I was 10, you fuckstick. And when I asked, you know, it was just, oh, you're Chinese. Like, that was just what I'd been told. I was never told anything else. You know what I mean? I thought they all spoke Chinese and they were all just whatever. Like, I didn't know about the difference between Japan and the history and all that stuff. You know, I learned that later on. You know, I was, you know, naive or whatever, but it was interesting. But yeah, I found out later on that a lot of the people I was friends with at school, their parents and their, you know, even them themselves had gone through some fucking insane shit, like just absolute fucking crazy. And, you know, that's why I never judged people. You know, you get on a... Like, people don't seem to understand that to get on a boat and go across the fucking sea with the possibility of fucking dying, you have to have a legit reason. Like, people don't do that because they just want to. Right? You know? And not every smuggler was a cunt. Just for the record. I'm not saying that there were not smugglers who were just cunts, you know, trying to get money off of misery. There definitely were. And if you ask me, there were many, many, many of them. There's, you know, I was talking to one guy about it. He said, you know, they were on a boat. This was an older dude with pretty good English. He was very, very, you know, well spoken and stuff. But every now and then there'd just be a word or a letter or something he'd just get wrong. I was chatting with him one day, and he said, you know, it's so hard. Imagine that you have to look at somebody and say, oh, you're an asshole. Yeah, you're taking money for human life and all this sort of stuff, right? That's what everyone says about smugglers and stuff. You know, oh, they're just scum who take money. Oh, fuck you! Yes. Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, it's so fucking good. Oh, da 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 da. I had a feeling that if I got that kitted out, finished, and got hardened and all that, that the experience would be just so much it would push me over that line. This is so good. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You have mastered Prestige. Congratulations.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful. I'm gonna upload this. Share. You've been granted a Prestige Master Ribbon and may now level up to 1000. All gameplay will remain unlocked. Continue to level up to earn stars for your ribbon and more rewards. Prestige 12. Yum. I don't know why I said Prestige 12, that's worrying me. But anyway, let's see. Maybe I got Prestige 12 because I unlocked so much stuff? Okay, what the fuck is it doing? Something went wrong. Okay. Yeah, I think it just fucked up a little bit, maybe, on its own. Don't know. Instant rewards. Sitting Bull. 24th of the 12th, 2024. Oh. What gun is that? I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, select a mission. Standard, play solo. Nice.
Okay, idiots. Time to play Find the Geriatric Professor. You know, the one that isn't in the helicopter. For the love of all that is good, stop shouting.
Alrighty. Let's tell some good stories. We'll tell bad stories. Stuff. I've known way too many assholes in my life. I think we all have. Sooner or later, if you're going to be.
Well, get with the program, you glorified abacus. We've got our hands full down here. Oh, and Ravenov, say Privyet to Sam.
Only single sign of the Dark Ether for 6 years. And pictures. Where was the neighborhood?
I'm just gonna assume that thing was some sort of glitch. Another fucking glitch. That's okay. It's not taken away. This is awesome still. Oh, I'm supposed to change to the new skin.
These beasts follow everywhere in your wake, even after all these years. Was you? And I thought I kept bad company.
Saving ammo while crushing hearts and minds.
Double points.
Alright. Eat my sniper dick. I was gonna say eat my dick, and then I decided to add in sniper. Eat my dick. Eat my dick. This gun is not doing the power it is supposed to do. It is not doing what it promised me it would
I
do.
heard that one.
I was promised a kaboom! Ah, goddamn. Just because I said kaboom didn't mean that I wanted an actual fucking nuke. Oh shit, I didn't actually hit that. I was turning around to see, I thought it was, god, I fucked that up. Anyway, it's alright. It's not too bad. Could be worse.
Yeah, shit. Those gates aren't messing around.
Our comrades will find a way. Comrades, please, in a quiet way.
Oh, I didn't put the right fucking gobble gums on. God damn it.
How's that dirt taste?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, goddamn. Oi! Break my fucking armor, I break your fucking face. Oh, shit. Instant kill as well. Ah, damn it, I was hoping to do a really nice trick shot critical. Look at that, I lined them both up and I look awesome. That's why I'm the Prestige Master. But no, that didn't happen. That's why I'm the Prestige Master. Ah, straight afterwards I miss. Yeah. Admit it, all those criticals, they got you wet. Wet with butt sweat. Ultimate thing. Boom.
What's that thing? I cannot hear a word you are saying.
Uh-oh. This could be dangerous, this part. This might actually be... How many bullets have I got? Okay, I got 18. Ah, fuck. That's what I'm worried about. Okay, hold on. These work? Please tell me they work. Yes.
Whoa! The blood problem has gotten way out of hand.
I feel like one of these is going to drop down behind me. You alright? Die!
For the day. better hit as heavy as it tastes.
My survivability is increasing. I really don't need a sniper rifle right now. I need a much better gun. So I just didn't think about it, but yeah, if I'm just doing a short run,
Down you go, creepy.
technically this will actually work to my advantage, because if I pack it... Wait, what the fuck? Why didn't I climb up that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is the problem. I've played way too much of the other modes, and that's like the directed mode, and so I'm starting to sort of forget how powerful the zombies become and how much further ahead I should technically be at this stage. Like, okay, it'll work in my favor because it will, it has explosive rounds when it's packed, but I have to get to the packing stage, or else it's just a liability. Ow. So I've got to try and round them all up. Oh, fucking move! When you're reloading, your character slows down a little bit with bolt action weapons.
I'm so done with target
What the fuck is
discrimination.
that? That's armor.
Max armor.
Okay, I can upgrade my gun with this stuff. That will help me immensely. If I can get one-shot kills to body, that will help a lot. Okay, I get one-shot kills to body. No, not quite. Take that. Yeah, I think I've advanced the round. Which I need to do, but yeah.
Those things swarm. We got real problems.
I know for a fact Flink will get the dangerous
This is going to be a run back to the start.
Some direct from Richtofen.
Good thing we get a 5-finger discount.
Like chewing on a live wire. Pure energy.
Bonus points.
Shit.
Insta-kill.
That short my time or lengthen? Oh, nice.
After whatever that was, nothing will surprise me.
That fucking insta-killed it. Like,
That was fucking you.
oh shit. This is the problem.
Down! Checkmate, asshole!
Fuel sensor's going flat. Okay, hold on. Got it. Okay, powered up my gun.
Yep, like it.
I gotta be careful, I can take damage from this gun at this point.
Max armor.
Okay. didn't actually want that to happen. I've got Juggernog. Theoretically, okay, I can upgrade my gun. I gotta logic this. Because all I'm doing is exfilling, just for the record. So, not interested in any other stuff, just exfill. So, okay. I shouldn't be doing that. I gotta group them up. Point maximum kill factor. Oh shit! I shouldn't have fired that second shot. Okay, bird. May as well call it a bird. Okay. Okay. Stop saying okay. I need to. Logic is the winner of the day. Fast reloads,
Where
definitely.
were you when I was writing my dissertation?
Just drop a green. Thank you. Fucking hell, server. Stop. Good. Take hits. Should be exfilling from here. Yep, okay, got it. Okay, 35 zombies. Minute 25.
Your request must be submitted in triplicate. We are on our way. Clear the decks, my friend. Cannot stay full riot.
Oh, already down to 5? Yeah, okay, this was overkill.
Just look for the bird first. That's what we are.
Where's the last one? Good. Go. Fuck off.
Pickup complete.
Yes! Oh, there we go. Actually, do 25 sorcerers. Oh, man. Oh! Yep, okay. Hello? Okay, this time I did it? Or not? I don't know why it says Prestige 12.
Yeah, okay, this is a common fucking bullshit glitch. The Void Sheath Augment, I told you. With the PhD Slider Augment for the thing, get 5 multi-kills. With the Triple Shot Augment, the Melee Macchiato equipped, rapidly kill 18 zombies with a melee weapon in... Supermassive, kill 20 with the Shadow Rift. Explosion. With the Retribution Augment for Frenzied Guard, explode 25 zombies when they touch you. The Electric Cherry Augment for Elemental Pop equipped. Kill 25 zombies that are stunned by Elemental Pop. Okay. Something new to work. Ah, okay. It's showing me that it's... Okay, let's just make sure that